So for yes. Okay, so someone is recording, so thank you. Let's begin with today's lesson. Okay, Kangsa Tangbo, first person. So, Tshitele Tsiningla. So this is the same in most of the scripts because whenever we meet someone, we greet them. So, Tshitele is a wonderful greeting that we have learned. Tshitele Tsiningla, which means greetings, Tsiningla. Kansanyiba, second person. Tshitele, Tshila. Kirao kusu setang yinam. So this is a way to ask sil tang. Sil means physically good. Tang talks about both physical and mental well-being. We normally say tangbo, deu tangbo, depo tangbo, which talks about both the physical and the mental well-being. So kusu seltang is it's not used. It can be used in an official gathering because it is. So anything that has an honor of it can be used in an official gathering, but it can also be used in a day-to-day conversation. So, kera kusu setang hinam. So it means I'm sure you're doing well. So it's like I hope you're fine. So okay, so let me check this. So the English translations have not been changed, I think so. So yep, some of the English translations have not been changed because I'm using the same format for most of the script. So that is the reason why. So I will send the translation of all the English. I will correct them and send you a new file. So the English translation is incorrect in this one. So make sure that you understand that this English translation is not correct here. So please just listen to the Tibetan that I will be speaking, and I will explain it to you. And yes, because the format is the same. So what I normally do is that since the format is same, what I do is I duplicate the document and I change everything inside. So this is what I do. Normally, what I do is I duplicate the material, and then I just, because all of these are the same every time. So all I need to do is change these. And it's the same if I take a new document and then get the table, or I use the existing table. So that is the reason why, even though I have changed the Tibetan, I haven't been able, I have not changed it here. So that's the reason why it is like this. And very sorry. I will make sure that I change the English and send you the. So this file that was sent to you is incorrect, and very sorry for that. I will change it and send you the new file. So therefore, just don't look at the English portion. So just listen to me when I'm explaining to it, and you will receive the English, the one with the correct English later. I'll send it in the group, in the WhatsApp group. So very sorry for the small inconvenience that happened and the mistake. Okay, so which means are you fine? So it means are you fine? So but the thing is that when we say seltang, oh lasso, thank you, Alan La. So if you can, please do that. Now, that would be wonderful. So so it means how are you doing? So seltang refers to both physical and mental health. La ngat deboi. So make sure that since we're learning the written conversation in more written language, as well as we're trying to include as much honorific as possible. The thing is that when you try to become more native at this time, when I say native, I mean at this time in Tibetan, the problem is that you incline more towards the colloquial system and that you abandon a lot of honorifics. And there are people who are using honorifics. Remember this, there are people who are using honorifics. So therefore, make sure that you're also using honorific. It's a minute group. It's not a very big, it's not a majority of Tibetan people who are using honorifics. So therefore, when you speak in this manner, you'll feel like, how to say, you'll feel like you're actually, your way of speaking is a little different from most of the people. But the thing is that there's nothing wrong here grammatically, or in the syntax, or in the structure. Everything is correct. But there is more inclination towards the written and the honorifics. So that's the thing with this. So therefore, it doesn't matter if you hear other people, other Tibetan people that you know, or speaking in a way that does not match the way you're learning here. Most of the time, they're using the colloquial system of speaking. They're more inclined towards the colloquial, and they're not using the honorifics. Yes, they understand it perfectly. Some of the word definitely they will not understand some of the words, but in most cases they will understand the honorifics. Not only will they understand it, in many cases it will also sound much better to the ears when you speak. And if you converse with the more like the elder people with honorifics, they actually prefer it very much to the and another thing is that honorifics is something that is also used widely in the central Tibetan region of Lhasa. So especially the Lhasa, it's used very. It is used by most of the people. So therefore, and it actually sounds better, so much better than the current Tibetan, the common Tibetan way of speaking. This sounds so much better in comparison. So therefore, even if it doesn't match, make sure that you stick to this. La so la nga deboyin, la nga deboyin, tiring la ukam deboyin na, which means tiring la, are you fine physically? Are you feeling well? Are you feeling good? Or are you feeling well? So la nga taring deboyin. So we see that tiring la here says nga taring deboyin. So there is an addition of the word here, which is taring, which is today. So Tsringla is saying that today I'm doing fine. So what do we infer from this? We infer that Tsringla is fine today, but he may be sick yesterday or some days before that. But currently Tsringla is fine. So Tsringla is asking, Trashila Loti Kangtra Kangtrason, which means, how was your year? How was your year this year? So how was your year? How was the current year for you? How was this year for you? La Dilor Yapuchu. Just La is a more polite way of acknowledging what you have heard. Sometimes you will hear people saying ah is also a way to acknowledge that acknowledge what someone has asked. And sometimes it's also used like, it depends on the tone. You see? And la can also be used as a way to ask someone to repeat the question. If you say lo, which is like in more tone with the question. But if it's a la, it's acknowledging what has been said. La, so this year was good for me. Mixel supula ne na cha kaya michungwe hachang kiso. Mixel means specifically or specially. Supula ne nacha means ailment, disease, or any form of sickness. So Tashila said kaya michungwe, which means because this year I didn't have any sickness or disease or physical ailment. Hachang kiso, which means it was a very happy year for me. Hachang means very. So some of these things that I say, that I explain, make sure that if these are new things, try to make notes. Hachang means very. Kisong means happy. It was a very happy year for me. It was a very happy year. Why was it a happy year? Because this year I didn't face any sickness or disease. So therefore it was a very happy year for me. Lexo, which means great. Ngani dilor tsar kashe na chongwe mempe sula jumen madang we kumsenki re song. Okay, so ngani dilor means for me this year. Tsar kashe means multiple times. Kashe means some, or it can also be understood with, as multiple when we use it with the word tsar. Tsar kashe means multiple times. So tsar kashe na chungwe, because I fell ill multiple times this year. Mempe, doctor, sula jumen madang we kumsenki re song. So doctor said it was because my body was lacking in vitamin. Jumen means vitamin. Ju actually means nutrition. Men refers to medicine, but here jumen refers to vitamin. So the doctor said that it was because of lack of vitamin. Doctor said that the reason was that my body was lacking in vitamin. So sung is an honorific of speaking. She lapa. So we have she, which is written. We have sung, which is written. Then we have lapa, which is spoken. It's a spoken, it's more spoken. So rather than written language. So normally we say either she song or sung song. Tadung xingde mangbu sa par lamde nangchung. Lamde means guidance or instruction. So the word lamden means guidance or instruction. And upon that, tadung means upon that. Upon that, he instructed me, he gave me instructions to eat many. Xingde is fruit. To eat many fruits. So not only the doctor told me that I was feeling sick. Okay, I will try. Lexo, which is great. Ngani dilor sar kashe na chungwe, because I fell ill multiple times this year, because I was sick multiple times this year. Membe sula jume matangwe gumsen kire sungsung. The doctor told me that it was because my body was lacking in vitamins. So some word that you see here, sarkashe means multiple times. Sarkashe. Okay, let me actually write this because I think that this is going to be quite beneficial. So let me just get the Tibetan keyboard. So some of the things I'm providing in the chat. So like I told you last time, some things will be spontaneous. I will remember it while teaching and I will write it in the chat. So let me just, sorry, it's to everyone. So all of these means same. So all of these have quite the similar meaning. It means multiple times or many times. So it means multiple times or many times. Sarkashe, sarkashe, sartuma, sarmangbo. So all of these means the same thing. If we say nga sarkashe, so nga sarkashe homla drowa in means I went to the market multiple times. I went to the market many times. And you can also say nga sar tuma tromla drowa in. I went to the market multiple times. So sar kashe, kashe and kashe, same. These are same. Two ways, two spelling for one thing. So kashe, kashe, tuma mangbo, sar kashe, sar tuma, sar mangbo. And all of these means multiple times, many times. So so therefore, sar kashe. So ngani delor sar kashe nachungye. Nachung means I fell ill multiple times this year. I fell ill. No particular reason why I don't use chinbayin. So sarkashi, you can say chin. So it is also valid. So there is no particular reason why I don't use chin. The most valid reason would be at this very moment when I was writing the sentence, the only thing that came to my mind was do. So that's the reason why I didn't write chin. But if chin would have come to my mind, I would have written. So that is the most valid reason for why I didn't use it. But it is lesser. I'm very sorry. Some of the reasons are not too logical, but so that was the reason. And chin is also so do is a word that can be. It has the same spelling for all tenses. Do. So the thing that makes it different tenses, it's companion. So yesterday, we were talking companion words. So let me write some companion word. Wonderful. Dogyu, yin, Dro sin pa in dro yi yue dro shin pa in. So we see that for do, all of the spellings are the same for all the tenses, but chin is particularly a past tense. Yes, and this is chin. Chin is a past tense. So, but still, this is a past tense sentence that I just made here, which was nga tsar tuma tromla drawing. I could have written nga tsar tuma tromla chimbayin. And that would have been the same. So, nga dilor tsar kashi means multiple times. And nacho na means to fall ill, to fall sick. So this year I fell sick multiple times. Mempe means doctor. Sometimes also amche. Sometimes also haji. So haji is a very haji is a term that is used for the doctors who treat the king, or sometimes also known as lamin. Lamin means the highest physician. Men, it actually means men by itself means medicine, but here men is an abbreviation of the word mempa. So mempa means the one who practices medicine, or in other word, it's the physician. So la means the highest. Men means the physician. So lamin means the highest physician, the physician who has the highest position. So haji is also similar to that. Haji, if you directly translate it, ha means God, and J means Lord. So to someone that to someone whom we truly submit ourselves, so that they can treat us and save us from the ailment or illnesses. So haji is a more standard word. It's a more higher honorific word. Normally, mempa, amche. Then, if you want to be more, if you want to show a greater degree of respect, haji. And if someone is practicing medicine at the highest level with the highest position, is called, normally we call them court physician. The people who, yes, haji and lamin. Let me write this. Lamin. Lamin, which means the highest level of physician, someone who is at the highest, normally known as the court physician, or the royal physician who treats the royal family, the king, or at this point it could be like a doctor that is of the highest position. So lamin. So these are all different degree of honorifics. So kashi chungwe mempe, the physician, sula jumen matangwa. Matangwa means not being adequate, not lacking. Matangwa means lacking. Ma is a negative particle. So tangwa means not lacking. Tangwa means being adequate or enough. Matangwa is not being enough or lacking. So the doctor said, the physician said that my body, the reason for this is because my body is lacking in vitamin. So chumen is vitamin. Chumen is vitamin. Madangwa means lacking, to lack. Sung is the honorific of to say. Tadung, upon that, Xingde mangbu sa göper lamdön nangchung. Lamdön means guidance or instruction. It may mean guidance, or sometimes it also may mean instruction. So upon that, he advised me, he instructed me to have more fruit, or to eat more fruit. Xing de. Xing means the tree. De means the it actually means the product, the produce by the tree. So that's the fruit. So xingde, the fruit. So he advised me to have fruit. So this is the meaning of this particular line. Now, Kangsa Tangbo. Laso nge delor nyintar. So nyintar means daily, every day or daily. Nge delor nyintar shingde re sepe. This year I had a fruit. I ate a fruit every day, and because of this, nata miyonwe sunkortu gurwatatuk. So because of this, it seems that it became the sunkor means protection circle. So it means like an armor or a protection. So it says that because of this, it seems that it became a protection. So normally sunkor means protection circle, and you will encounter this particular term if you are reading text which are mostly. So let me be very precise with this. I'm going to use the least number of words possible for this. So if it is a text that's related to Vajrayana, you're going to see this word quite often. And this is it that I'm going to say about this. It's Sunkor, which means protection circle. So no more elaboration on this. So Xingde, which means the fruit. So because I ate these fruit, it seems that it has become my protection. I'm going to introduce some of the fruits. So I'm going to introduce some fruits. So Tashila is going to introduce some fruits to us. Last time, I think it was Tsiringla who introduced us to the vegetables. Was it? No. It was still Tashila. So Tashila is the one who is introducing us to new words. So thank you to Tashila. So these are the 15 names of fruit, more common names of fruit. So the first one is tomato, which is tomato or tomato. And then it is tomato or tomato. It's a fruit. Then we have chugagun, which is watermelon. Yes, it's the same actually. Sadly, we don't have a term for tomato in Tibetan. So therefore, we came up with the transliteration that was tomatu. So it's with a tu. So tomatu. So tomato or tomato. Chugagun, watermelon. Kushu, apple. Tsaluma, orange. So kushu reminds me that someone will have to read karakushu today. So kushu, that is apple. Tsaluma, which is orange. Tsaluma, orange. Papaya, so it's the same here. Papaya, which is papaya. Papaya. Sindhu, which is pomegranate. Sindhu is the pomegranate. Gundum, grapes. Gundum, grapes. Chita sajin. Chita sajin. Strawberry. Strawberry. Then gagun. Chugagun is watermelon. Gagun by itself is melon. What we learned in the previous class is gagun also meant cucumber. So it also meant cucumber, but it also means melon. So you'll ask me, when will I know it's the cucumber or if it's the melon? The best way is to see if it is accompanied by the word cell or it's accompanied by the word shingdo or shingde. If it's accompanied by cell, they're talking about cucumber. If there is the term shingdo or shingde, they're talking about melon. Seu, cherry. Seu is cherry. Ngarikambu, apricot. Ngarikambu is apricot. And then tilkam is kiwi. Tilkam is kiwi. Tuksil is dragon fruit. Tuksil is dragon fruit. Kambu, sometimes also known as losum kambu. So let me just write it here. So kambu or losum kambu means peach. Ngangla is banana. So for some of these, I can provide you with why it's called like this. For example, like the chugagun is a melon with water, so it's called watermelon. So that's a derived name, chu and gagun. Like, yeah, so those who are joining me for the grammar class you have yesterday, we were talking about derived name. So chugagun is a derived name. It is a combination of two names, chu and gagun. That is the reason why it's called chugagun, watermelon. Direct translation. This is a direct translation. And then ngarikambu, because this particular type of fruit is harvested and grown in the Ngari region. Ngari is a region in Tibet. So it's mostly harvested there. So therefore it's called ngarikambu. Truk, which means dragon. Ngangla, this is an interesting one. So ngang means ngangpa, which means duck. Lak means, it actually means the feet. So since the since when we have a lot of bananas, if you have like a bunch of bananas, it looks like the feet of the duck. So it's called ngangla. So ngangbe lakpa, ngangla. So banana. So these are some of the fun facts regarding. Till is monkey. So tilkam is like a kambu, which is either eaten by monkeys or it has it has the, so the thing is that the kiwi, the color of the kiwi plus the kiwi, it has like these interesting hair on the skin. So it somewhat looks like the monkey's fur. So that may be the reason why it's called tilkam. So these are new words. These are new names. These are things that are not grown in Tibetan. So therefore, these are new terminologies. So they're being very creative with these terms. So therefore, tilkam could be because the outer cover, and with the color of that outer cover plus the addition of the fur is quite similar to that of the monkeys. So therefore, tilkam. Okay, so we have 15 different fruits: tomato, 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 sugargun, watermelon, kushu, apple, saluma, orange, alaso, then papaya, which is papaya, papaya. Sindru is pomegranate. Sindru, pomegranate. Gundrum, grapes. Gundrum, grapes. Tita sadzin, strawberry. Tita sadzin, strawberry. Gagun is melon. Gagun is melon. Siu, cherry. Siu, cherry. Ngari kambu, apricot. Apricot. Tilkam, kiwi. Tilkam, kiwi. Duxil, dragon fruit. Duxil, dragon fruit. Kambu, peach. Kambu, peach. Nganglak, banana. Nganglak, banana or banana. So these are 15 names of fruit. So please memorize them. Are important as these adds new words to your vocabulary. And we will have tests on them. Normally, all of the quiz are mostly surprise quiz that we're having. So now the 4 particles that we're studying today. The first one, or the phrase or particles, the first one is tu taktu. The first phrase is tu taktu. Tu taktu, which means always, always, always. Tu taktu. Kap kar, kap kar, kap kar, which means sometimes, sometimes. Kap kar, sometimes. Samrir, 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 which means occasionally, occasionally. Samrir, occasionally. Nyintar, daily. Nyintar, daily. Nyintar, daily. So every day or daily or mundane. Not mundane, mostly daily or every day. So the first particle, which is tu taktu, it means always. So the sentence is tu taktu sempa sambo chagu ni kel chempore. Tu taktu, every, always, sempa sambo, which means being kind. Chagu, to be kind. Ni is emphasis, which is kel chempore. So ni is in this particular sentence. It can mean different things in different sentences. So ni is a connective particle. So just like we discussed yesterday, never assign an individual meaning to these connective particles. In this sentence, ni means is, but it can mean a different thing in a different sentence. Though in all of these cases, it is emphasis particle, but the emphasis can be done with other words. So therefore, in this sentence, it is. It is very important to always be kind. So, tu tang tu sempa sangbu chaguni kelchempo re. Okay, the second sentence is kap kar nyetso ri zemor kyam tu troi yu. Kap kar, sometimes nyetso vi. Ngatso, nyetso, same. It's the same. Both of these means we. Nyetso. Ri, zemor. Zemor, ri means mountain. Zemor means peak or the top, at the top of the mountain, at the peak of the mountain. Kapkar, sometimes nyetso, vi, ri, zemor, kyam tu, roiyu. Kyam means to roam. So sometimes we go to the peak of the mountain to roam or to walk, or just to go for a walk. Samrir, occasionally. Samrir, occasionally. Samrir, chözi, tötse, sem, hakbar, 조우 중기뚝. Samrir, chözik, tötse, sem, hakbar, 조우 중기뚝. Samrir, chözik, tötse, sem, hakbar, 조우 중기뚝. Samrir means occasionally. Chözik means words of dharma. Tötse means when heard. When someone hears it, when it is heard, the time when it's heard. Tö means to hear. Tse means at the time when you hear. Sem means the mind. Hakbar toa means to be more joyful than usual, to be more joyful, to be more happy than usual. Chungkintu means happens. So occasionally you feel even more joyful than usual when you hear words of dharma. Okay. Nyintar, daily. Nyintar is daily. Nyintar, sigre zamchon nuna means nu is to be able to or can. Sometimes it means can. I can. They can. Can. So if na is more like an if. So if you can learn one word a day, lo mangla keba kala mikurkram. Kala is saying why not? Why would someone not? Or why not? So lomang means many years, after many years, in many years. So it states that if you can learn one word a day after many years, why would you not become a scholar? It is a given that you will be a scholar if you can study one word a day. So then we can use sentence like nyintar nga gomba ru korakyapto truki use. Every day I go to circumambulate the temple. Nyintar nga shokcha tungki yu. Nyintar nga shokcha tungki me. Every day I don't have breakfast. Things like this. So nyintar is daily. Samrir is occasionally. Samrir chawa pabe tsena nima sharkintu. Sometimes when it rains, the sun also shines when it rains. Topkar, sometimes. Kapkar. Kapkar, Lopta Rututu, Kapkar Lopta Rututu. Okay. Kapkar, Konsela, Penzo Tutukiyus. Sometimes I go to the library during holiday. Always, to talk to is always. To talk to, it is always important to us reason. To us, reason. To analyze and to us, reason. So these are the 4 particles that we studied today. To talk to, always, kapkar, sometimes, samdir, occasionally, mientar, daily. And these are the 15 fruit, the names of 15 fruit that we studied: tomato, chugage, watermelon, kushu, apple, saluma, orange, papaya, sindru, pomegranate, gundum, grapes, Jita strawberry, gage, melon, sew, cherry, ngarikambu, apricot, tilkam, kiwi, drusil, dragon fruit, kambu, peach, ngangla, banana. And then some of the word that I wanted to highlight today. First one is hachang, which means very. Hachang is very. Mixil is especially. So let me just write it here because I want to emphasize these words. So, hachang. Hachang. Hachang, which means very. Then we have mixil, which means, in this context, it means especially. And then we have ne natsa, which means disease or ill. So ne natsa, which means disease or ailment. It means sickness, disease, or ailment. So sickness, disease, or ailment. These are ne natsa. And then where is this word? Jumen. Which means vitamin. And then shingde is fruit. So shingde. Songkhor is protection. And so these are some of the words today's lesson. Hachang, very. Mixil actually means special, but in this context, it means specially. Neanatsa is sickness, disease, or ailment. Jumin is vitamin. Okay, so this was today's lesson. So before I think we should first do the memorization test. So please choose any number between 1 to 15. Any number between 1 to 15. And we will generate a number randomly between 1 to 15. The rules are the same, as you know. If your number comes, definitely you're the one who is going to give the test. If your number doesn't come, or so this is the new document or material. you can download this. So if your number doesn't come, but a number, if the number that comes is not, is none of the number that has been set, then the number that you is, let me do this. So if your number, let me check.
Again, let me ask.
Yes.
You pronounced amche. Is it amche, doctor? Is it correct? Amche, according to Lhasa dialect.
No, it
so
is
amche.
Yes.
Is it?
So it's amchi. The pronunciation is amchi. So amchi is just an influence by the original dialect. So, but it's amchi, the one you pronounce. It is amchi. So you stick to amchi. Like, yes, this year was especially good for me because this year the illness was a very happy year. Great for me this year because because I fell ill multiple times this year. Doctor said it was because my body was lacking vitamins. Upon that, he advised me to eat more fruits. Yes, this year I ate fruit every day, and because of it seems it became a protection. I'm going to introduce some fruits. Okay, so this is correct. So the file that is sent here, you may download it. The translations are correct. So yes, the pronunciation is amchi, like you said. So it's not just for the Lhasa dialect, it's also for the written language. It's amchi. So amchi is more or less an influence of the original dialect that I have. Sometimes my original dialect comes up. So make sure that if I pronounce it in that way, you point it out so that it is clarified. So especially when I'm reading the text, especially when you like during the recording, I make sure that I'm pronouncing it more towards the written language aspect, but sometimes the influence of my original dialect comes out. So, for example, ki, sometimes I might be pronouncing it as chi, and ki would be chi. So this is because of my original dialect. So the influence of the dialect of the region from where of Tibet, from where I originate from. Okay, so we have, so those who are not able to participate, you'll be participating in the next class. Okay, so the rules that I said is that if the numbers written here are selected, then you are to read. If the numbers that are written here, if the number is none of the numbers that are selected here, then if your number is 1 greater than the number generated, then you're going to read. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Number 11. Do we have 11? Yes, we have 11. It's Perilla. So Lasso Perilla. So you're going to read the first text, which is the Chibetagi. So the Karakushu. So please begin.
So Karakusu Shasetan Kawa Kagyang Yin Kowa Kodang Kajong Dang Sa Kochut Dang Sata Kowa Sako Yin Gawe Kuni Sakura Kuma Tani Rakuning Kun Kucho Chepa Kukyang La Kappa Tani
Kupatani
Kuppa Tani Rakung Ying Kashi sorry cũng tạ Tashi Tashi Takni Patala Kowe Tani Sataying.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you for memorizing this, and make sure that once it is memorized, do it every day so that you won't forget. The thing is that after this, like for this week, it's mostly this week, and next week mostly it's Chibetai, and then we have Lopchung Tai Kate, which is the group of Ka, and after then we have Ka. We'll try to finish as much as possible during this class. If we're not able to finish it during this course, we will continue the same memorization. If you continue joining me for the conversation class, the next would be the intermediate level, the intermediate Tibetan conversation. And during that class, we will continue this. So therefore, the rest of you, please continue memorizing. We have a class on Saturday, so you might be the one reading it. Those who have already given me this test, like Perila did today, make sure that you continue reading it until it becomes something that comes out without any effort. So about the pronunciation, but the first thing is that Perila, you have to work on your R sound.
Ra.
So, kor. So, korwa, kortang, kortang, sata korwa, sakorin. So, kor, work on the kor. And then the other thing is kun. When you say kun, make sure that you pronounce the na properly. So, kunma.
Kuma.
Kunma kuwa rakunis.
Kuma.
Okay, so kunma. So make sure that you work on these two. And before question answer, I'm very sorry to take this time. I will be explaining. I will be explaining the text. Let me explain the text. Today's text that you have been memorizing. So the recordings are there, but I just thought let's do a small explanation here. So kara means sugar. Kara means sugar. So there are two things. Shekara. So let me write this. It's better to always write these things because so we have two types of sugar. We have shelkara, and then we have chemakara. So we have chemakara and shekara. 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 I think shekara. These are sugar, but they're not like the sugar normally we put in the tea. Not that a grain-like thing. It's big chunks of sugar. Shekara. It's called shell because it looks like glass. So it's like it's almost like glass candy, but it's like shell. So it comes in big chunks. Shelkara. Normally, what we do is that we actually eat it. We eat that sugar, that shelkara. We put it in our mouth, and then normally we have it for the entire day. So shelkara. It was one of the like we use it in place of toffee. Yes, the one that I said. So there you see that the kara is, I think the kara, the picture of kara is actually the normal sugar, I think. But here the kara means both. The first one is shell kara, which is the chunk one. The other one is chema kara. So chema kara. So this book that I have sent in the group, Chibetai. So chemakara is the more fine grain like one, the one which is which we use for sweetening the tea. Chemakara. Okay, so that is chemakara, and then okay, so karakushush. Kushu means apple. So kushu means apple. So you see that after that it is said shelse. Shelse means snack. Shelse refers to snack. So shelse means snack. So both the sugar or food. So the sugar and apples are edible. So shelse. Kawa, kowa. Kaikyang is kawa means the pillar. The pillar in the house. The pillar in the house is kawa. Kowa means leather. Leather that we use to make bags, wallets, belts, jacket, seats, seat covers. So leather. So it states that kara kushu shilsetang kawa kowa kakyang, which means the word kara, sugar, kushu, the apple, ko kawa, the pillar, and the leather koa, all of them do not have either a subjoined or a headjoined letter. It is simply ka. Korwa kortang korchu etang sata koa sakurin. Korwa means to circumambulate, to go around a temple, to go around a village, a temple, to circumambulate a place. It's called korwa. Korchu means storeroom, a place where you store everything like food. It's normally it's a place in a house where we keep the grains that we have harvested during at the end of the summer. We have harvested those grains and other things like the wheat, and then we have the butter there. So all of these things. So the storeroom is korju satako sakurins. So satakor means to go from one place to another. So difference between korwa and satakorwa, the spelling are the spelling are same, but the difference is that one means to circumambulate, the other means to tour around different countries. And all of these are sakor. Sakor means it has a head-joined letter, sa. Gawe kuni sakula kumatani rakuni. So Gelweku, which is the idol of the Buddha. Gelwa is Buddha. So idol of Buddha or any other so Buddha, be it Buddha Shakyamuni or any other Buddha. So the idol of Buddha. And Kunma. So Gewekuni Sakulas, meaning the spelling of the idol ku is with the head-joined letter sa. Kunma tani rakunis. Kunma, which means thief, someone who steals, the thief. So the spelling for the word kunma, which is thief, we use the head-joined letter ra. Kucho cheba kukyanglas. Kucho means to gossip, to talk non-virtuous things or neutral things. It may be non-virtuous or it may be neutral. So something that doesn't help you towards the path of dharma, something that is not related to the path of dharma, any talk that is not related to dharma or helps you towards understanding dharma, these are known as non-virtuous speech, non-virtuous speech. And these are called kucho. Either to gossip about some people, to talk bad about other people behind their back, to mutter hurtful comments, to talk about things that arises the three poison within yourself. These are known as kucho. So non-virtuous speech or neutral speech. And for that, kucho is kukyang, which means it doesn't have any head-joined letter. Kupa tani, laku means, kupa actually means someone who is dumb, who is unable to speak. But then in certain cases, it may also, some people also use it as someone who is dumb, who is incapable of having intellectual ability to think, to differentiate between the good and the bad, virtuous and non-virtuous. So the spelling of this is laku with the head-joined letter la. Tashi tani patala. So the term tashi, which means auspiciousness. So tashi means auspiciousness. For the term tashi, which is auspiciousness, you have the prefix letter, the prefix letter, or the prefix letter pa. Goyota nisatai. The hair of the head, ta, is with the head-joined letter sa. Okay, so this is the first text that you have to memorize, Tibetan. So this is a small explanation of what this what the text means. And then from time to time, I'm actually sending these verse from one of the it is from it's called The Excellent Speech of Sakya Pandita, and it's authored by Sakya Pandita. It's a wonderful text that talks about both the dharmic practice and the samsaric life. Advice on both of these aspects. And I'm actually sending some verse from these from the first chapter. Kara, sugar. Kara means sugar. The sugar that we either. So, like I said, two types of sugar. One which is eaten like a candy, which is shekara, or one which we put in the tea, chamakara. Okay, so so I'm sending some of the verse. Like last time, I sent this verse that says that the scholars, even the next morrow, if the scholar may die, they still study the night before. Even though one may not become a scholar in this lifetime, it's like depositing it in the bank, whence you can withdraw it in the next life. So these are very wonderful verse. In total, there are 9 chapters. So I will be sharing these verse from time to time. And if you can, memorize them. So I'm very sorry if they're too much to memorize, but if you can, it's not mandatory, but if you can, memorize them. And much better if you're able to give me the test. Oh, yes, Farizala.
Genla, I have 2 questions from this Kara Kushu.
Yes.
So in the sentence Korwa Kordhang.
Korwa.
Now,
Korwa Kordhang. So
in Korwa is to circumvallate. What is Kor? Again, we are writing there. Kordhang.
Korchu Dhang.
No, we Korwa Kordhang. Korchu Dhang. So what is the meaning of the Korwa is to circumvallate, right?
Yes. So Korwa Kor. So Korwa Kor means to circumambulate. Korwa Korwa.
Oh, korwa, kor together is circumambulate.
Yes,
Okay,
but
okay.
sometimes what we do is that we just say kora. So we just use this this other term that is kora. So we say kora la tukis. Kora, or sometimes linkor.
Linkor.
So sometimes you may say linkor, sometimes you may say kora.
So this is korwa, kor is to circumambulate.
Yes.
And another question is, Genla,
yes.
what is Dagni?
Which one?
Like Tashi Dagni. I mean, we are using Dagni, like.
Tashi Dagni. Dagni actually, okay. Let me just write this. Thak, right?
Yeah.
Thak means itself.
Oh.
Thak is itself. So normally, thak means itself. So oneself or itself. So thak means oneself or itself. So it's yes, thak means itself or oneself. So thakni means itself, which self? Tashi Tashi means that very term, which is tashi, or the term tashi itself has a prefix pa. So ta normally means itself or that itself. Okay, so that itself.
Did you know
So this seems more appropriate translation. Chibetai lasso, Chibetai. Chibetai is the name of the text that you are memorizing. Chiba means young children, and Tai means it's a text that teaches us spelling. So the text that teaches us spelling, but for the beginners, the children. So Chiba means children. So this text is primarily targeted to children who are studying Tibetan for the first time. So it's like, so Chiba, children, Tagi, a text that teaches us about spelling. Chibe Tagi. That's so. Okay, now questions. Any questions regarding today's lesson? Does anyone have any?
Gela, I have a question, okay?
Lasso.
And today we learned a daily Nita is, and this tar is used for another word like shoktar or every year rotar or something. Another tar can use for another word or just nintar.
Yes, nintar means like every day. So the term tar, right?
Yeah.
It means like or similar to. So the term tar by itself can be understood as like or similar to. So similar to every day or like every day, which means daily, right? Or you can also use it for shoktar, means like every morning or every morning. But the more but the shoktar rishin means like every morning. So let me write this down.
So taru is not
yes.
Taru is not every, but like a similar or
yes. Shoktar reshin means like every morning. Shoktar reshin every morning. It means like every morning. ning. So tar is like or similar to. Nyintar means similar to every day or like every day. So the meaning of every only comes when tar is either used with nyin or shok. So like I said last time, some of these words, they have this ability. What happens is that when they are used with another word, they tend to give more meaning than it normally does. So tar by itself is like or similar to. But when you add this to nyin, there is an addition meaning that comes here, which is every. And nyin is day. So instead of, so it means like every day, but we don't say like, instead we say every day. So nyin tar.
That's all to Jenna.
That's so. Okay, so does anyone else or does anyone have questions, more questions regarding today's lesson?
Can normally use shintok for fruit?
Yes.
Shintok.
Yes.
Fruits.
Normally we have this term which is shingtok, but we can also say shingde. So both of these are terms that means fruit. So this is also shingdo. So does anyone have more questions?
Yes, Kenla. We learned Gyunsen Ni before. And in the talk, it's written Gyunsen Gire.
Which so, in today's lesson, right?
Yes. It's written Gyunsen Gire because Gyunsen Gire Sung Song. So can you explain why it's not Gyunsen Ni?
Okay, so Gyunsen Ni means because the reason is, right? But here we see that the reasoning has been provided before. So in this sentence, we see that the reason why the person is feeling feeling sick or ill is because of the lack of vitamin. But here we see that the reasoning is given before the usage of the word te. So it is said, so we see that here we don't have gyumsen ni because the reason why that person, in this case, I think it's Tsiringla, right? So here we see that Tsiringla was sick or Tsiringla was not fine or sick. And the reason is because Tsiringla's body was lacking in vitamin. But the reasoning is provided before the usage of the term gyumsen. When we use gyumsen, let me go here. When we use gyumsen ni, the reasoning should come after. So when we say gyumsen ni, the reasoning, whatever reasoning is. So here, if you want to change this particular sentence, you can say dillor sar khashin nachung gyumsen ni ani gyumsen ni supula chumin matangwa re. So let me just write dillor sar khashi nasung gyumsen ni supur chumin matang ve matang War re tuk. So you see that in this sentence, the reason that is lacking of vitamins in the body is given after gyumsenni. But in this sentence, we see the reasoning was given before the usage of gyumsen. So therefore, this becomes gyumsen ki re and not gyumsen ni. Because if there is gyumsen ni, a reasoning should come there because this is the function of ni. It brings out a statement that emphasizes on the commitment, which is giving reason. So the reason comes after ni. But here it becomes gyumsen ki re because the reasoning was provided before. The reason was given before the usage of gyumsen, therefore gyumsen ki re. If the reason was given after gyumsen, it will be gyumsen ni. So therefore, this is not gyumsen ni, but gyumsen ki re. Does anyone have more questions? Does anyone have any questions regarding today's lesson?
Yeah, I have another question, if
yes.
possible.
Yes.
What is the function of when we say chungpe, or sometimes you, like in the talk, it's still in the talk in 2 times we have chungpe, or we have in another sentence recepe, but it's not the same pa. Or maybe I didn't write correctly. I don't know. Maybe I did mistake. Maybe it's same.
So, is it in the script?
Yes. It's like not first sentence, but Kangyang Michung Pe Hachang Kisong.
Okay, so Kangyang Michung We, right? Hachang Kisong. Okay, and which is the second one that you were referring to?
Is the next sentence Ngani Dila Gashe Nachung Pe.
Okay. So Natsa Kashi Chungwe Mempe. So
Chungwe,
sorry. Yes. So okay. This has to do with the so you said Chungwe in the earlier one, Chungwe, and the second one, Chungwe. And these two cases are same. These two, what they're doing is they're providing a reasoning. They say that because, so in the first statement, it says that meaning this year was a very happy year for me. I was very happy this year. And the reason is because there was no disease. I didn't fall ill this year. Because I didn't fall ill this year, means I didn't fall ill this year. And that is the reason why I'm happy. And here, dilor tsarkashi nachungwe, meaning this year I was ill. I was feeling ill for some times, or I was multiple times. I was feeling ill multiple times. And that is the reason why the physician said, here Be has a sa, but this is not providing a reasoning. It is just a particle here, which is showing that the physician said. So it just shows that the physician did an action, and the action was sung, which is to say. So the physician said, or physician spoke the reasoning. So here it's just action and action case, but in these two cases, in this case and this case, it is reasoning case. So it's provide reasoning here. Here it just shows that the physician was doing a action, which was to speak. But yes, so the thing is that you will study this in more detail in the grammar class that we have. because this is one of the connective particle. So we will study it there in detail. So this is not primarily the subject of discussion for this this particular lesson of conversation, but still the reasoning is in these two cases it provides reason. In that other case, it shows that the physician did an action. That's it. Lasso.
And so, sorry, Gana, and there's another one is a little bit later.
Okay.
Nientarshinte recepe. That's
yes. This is also reasoning. Pasape is for reason. It's providing reason. That is, I ate fruit every day this year. And here you see another. So the particle is not pe. The particle is the sa. So here we have the same particle. It states that I ate. So it shows an action that I did, which was to eat fruit every day. And that is the reason there was no, I did not feel sick at all. It seems like it became the protection. What became the protection? The fruit that I eat. Who ate it? I. And what is the reason I didn't feel sick? Because I ate the fruit. So reasoning, action. Lasso.
So we can write pe or we. This is the same meaning.
So no, there are certain words which follows wa. So wa follows certain suffix, pa follows certain suffix. And this we will study under the possessive connective particle under the grammar.
Okay. So it's pe and we the same meaning in this context.
No,
I mean.
In this context, yes, chungpa or chungwa is the same.
And CP as well.
Yes. This one, right? CP.
Recepe.
Recepe. CP. It's the same.
Lasso.
So therefore, we will. So some of you have joined me for the 21-day course, which we did a few months ago, and those of you understand that we will come to this point in the possessive particle. So we will come to the point of wa and pa in possessive particle. Lasso. So does anyone have more questions? And the assignments will be provided. So I still have to send, I have to send 2 assignments now, one for the Tree of Excellence speech, one for this. I will send it by tomorrow afternoon. So, I guess this is it for today. So make